mentioned Gauntlet AI. Do you mind sharing what that is? If you don't know what Gauntlet AI is.
Right. Yeah. So Gauntlet is a whirlwind of an experience. It is a 12-week intensive program for anybody, and I mean anybody who wants to be an AI-first enabled tech engineer. That's what it is.
Okay.
And so you take a quiz and a CCAT, and if you pass, they give you a seat in the remote version. If you pass it through the remote version, it is super intensive. I'm not going to lie to you. They work 80 to 100 hours a week building using AI technology. In the first cohort, the first week, they rebuilt Slack in 3 days.
Welcome to Code and Capital Podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss all things tech, all things finance, and how to get your money working for you. I'm Bukola Akinfadarin, aka the App Queen. Okay, and this is my co-host.
Hi, my name is Wale Shaboa, CEO and founder of ISO IT Consulting.
Awesome. I'm so excited today. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super, super excited. We have an amazing guest here today. Her name is Rebecca Metter. She's the COO of BlackisTech. Just to talk a little bit about your background and then BlackisTech and what all the new goals this year can expect from the conference. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in tech?
Ooh, okay. Long or the short, you started for Walt Disney World, and Walt Disney is known for operational efficiency, guest excellence, and always wanted to live in that world. And then I had a really good mentor at the next company I worked for when I moved back home to Houston. Shout out Houston. And she was like, "Hey, I'm leaving this company, a different company." And I was like, "Cool, I'm going with you." Oh. And it happened to be Service Titan, which is was a tech startup at the time.
Right.
Come to find out, it was a unicorn, and they're doing amazing things. They just IPO'd, so I was part of that entire experience. But I started in training. I've always been tech adjacent with operational efficiency and how do we get customers to enjoy the software they're using. And it opened a new world for me, honestly. And I think tech does that for a lot of people. It's like, I didn't know this existed. That's how I got into tech. Have been in tech since then, basically the bulk of my career. Moved out of Service Titan after a really good experience there, moved into private equity.
Nice.
Doing some of the same work, but in private equity. And at Service Titan, I happened to start co-found the Black ERG called Black Titans.
Nice.
And just thrived on the energy my community gave me. And I was like, gotta have that back. And I'd moved a few companies and done a couple of things and been very successful. I was like, okay, how do I get that back? How do I get that energy back of being with my community? And I volunteered for BlackisTech, and kind of the rest is history.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. So I was at BlackisTech last year, and I gotta say, I was super impressed by what you guys put on. I mean, the whole scenery was set up nice. You guys actually had technical classes.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I always I go to a tech conference and I'm like, okay, what are you guys offering here? I don't see anything that I can use.
Right.
But you guys actually had workshops where people were actually coding. That I have never seen. So I was super, super impressed. So I want to ask you about the expectation for this year versus last year.
Yeah. So this year's BlackisTech Week, let me be completely.
Okay, that's different from last year.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Conference is coming though. 2026 conference is coming.
Okay.
But BlackisTech Week is about enabling our entire community.
Okay.
And so you'll notice that our base ticket is free this year.
Nice.
We're not able to provide that with conference. A lot of the same structure is there. So there are different days. So we have an AI summit, a Dev Plus summit, a founder summit, a career summit, and a Web3 summit. So there's something for everybody during the week. There's still the workshops that'll be hosted. There's still the events and the connections and the networking. But I think week is different because you are no longer gated if you can't get a ticket.
Okay.
You're no longer gated if the one thing you want to do is not on low ticket level.
Right.
Because I've experienced that before, right? I go to all the Black Tech conferences as well. And sometimes that ticket is gated and you're like, man, that's the room I need to be in. And in this space, there's only one thing that's gated. Everything else is open to everybody. And so I think that's what makes week different for us.
Okay. So I'm guessing that it was some of the takeaways from last year that helped shape the idea for this year. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I know you guys are coming back to Houston. Why did you guys choose Houston to come back to do the BlackisTech Week?
Yeah. Well, Houston is home for Tosan and myself.
Nice.
Okay, so Tosan, the founder. But I think Houston has this innate ability to connect people. It's fourth largest city in the United States of America. So there's enough of us here to make it viable, first of all. It was in Texas, which is like the newest tech capital, right? Across our great country. And I think it has enough viability to push us into what's next. And I think BlackisTech is right on the cusp of that, like being part of what's next. And Houston is where it needs to be. Like there's tech involved in everything. We all know that now, right? Yeah. We all kind of have been open to that idea that tech is in everything. Yeah. And so if you think about, we have the largest medical center in the world.
True.
Nice.
We have the largest oil and gas industry in the world. Both of those industries sit on tech.
More, they do.
So I think if you're not here, you ain't on place.
No,
that's actually a really good point.
That's a good point.
So, okay, let's get into this big topic, right? With last year, we saw a lot of rollbacks with DEI. A lot of companies started getting rid of their DEI initiatives, sponsoring a lot of their employees to go to these tech conferences. How have you guys navigated that scenario?
Yeah, I think it's pull up your bootstraps and remember why you're doing it, first of all. Okay. And then realizing that we are our community. True. Right? It's great to have partnerships. So don't get me wrong. We love all those companies that continue to support us. But then you're okay, you still have people that work for you that look like us.
Right.
And what does that say to your people? Was it performative, or do you really think DEI is not necessary because you are still doing correct things? I think that's the conversation that's happening right now. It's you've pulled it back, but are you pulling it back because it was performative, because it was the thing to do a few years ago? Or have you really established a place for yourself to where people feel at home and you don't need a program that says you still have a home here, right? And I think the impact it has on BlackisTech is we're figuring out how to navigate without. Right. And the support of our own community is still fueling us. And now I think that speaks volumes to who we are as people.
That's true.
That we can still have and still do. I mean, look at Render. They've gone through the same thing. Having an amazing event right now, right? I'm sure Afrotech's going to have an amazing event, but it's because it's still on us to make sure it happens for our community. And so Tosan and I have had night coffee shop meetings and how we're going to do this and how we're going to make this possible. And looking into our partners who would seem smaller, who are not, right? Our community partners who may not have a super huge tech name behind them, right? They're not a fame company, but they are invested in the people. And that's what we want. I could care less if you're a multi-million-dollar company that wants to invest in us. Are you investing in the people that we support? If you're not, then there's no partnership to be had anyway.
I feel like if I answered my next question, because I was going to say okay, so you mentioned a couple of the bigger tech conferences and they've been going for a while. So what kind of sets you guys apart from the two that you just mentioned right now?
Right. So they all my people. I love everybody. I love everybody. But I think BlackisTech puts tech first, right, and everything else, right? Yeah, we still have the great parties, we still have the nice events, but just like you said, we first want to have workshops. Right. I want us to have a hackathon. I want those things for us because it is about tech. And even I sit in a tech adjacent position in every role that I have. So I'm the Chief Operating and Strategy Officer for BlackisTech, but I'm also the Head of Operations for Gauntlet AI. Still a tech adjacent position, right?
Nice. Okay.
And so there is a gaggle of us who are tech adjacent and where's my place? And so we have people like Kanika Tolliver coming to talk about how to get into tech and the career trajectory that you have there, right? She has a company she founded called Career Rehab. And I think people think you have to have this super technical experience to be a part of tech. And Tosan has that technical experience. I don't, I have a little now, but I didn't, right? And it was I'm still here. I'm still thriving and prospering off of what the tech community has. And I think that's what makes BlackisTech special and sets us apart from it.
Right.
But I think if you want a skill set enabled, if you want to be ready for what's next, BlackisTech is the place to be.
That's amazing. You mentioned Gauntlet AI. Do you mind sharing what that is? If you don't know what Gauntlet AI is.
Right.
Yeah, so Gauntlet is a whirlwind of an experience. It is a 12-week intensive program for anybody,
For
and I
anybody?
mean anybody who wants to be a tech-enabled first, or AI, sorry, say that again. It's for anybody who wants to be an AI first enabled tech engineer. That's what it is.
Okay.
And so you take a quiz and a CCAT, and if you pass, they give you a seat in the remote version. If you pass it through the remote version, it is super intensive. I'm not gonna lie to you. They work 80 to 100 hours a week building using AI technology. In the first cohort, the first week they rebuilt Slack in 3 days.
Wow.
In 3 days. And these are some of these individuals had never touched programming software ever.
Wow.
And so they enable them to, everybody
Yeah.
like who talks about Gauntlet, I think they say like, oh, they're teaching all these AI skills. And what they actually teach you is how to learn very quickly,
Wow.
how to enable yourself to be at the forefront and stay at the forefront.
Gotcha.
And so for me, that's what Gauntlet does. If you pass through, then you wind up coming to Austin. We house you, we feed you, we almost serve you. And you continue on that. And so we had a live demo day and we had a South by Southwest event during our first cohort to showcase these individuals. And if you graduate, you were then guaranteed a $200,000 coding job. So if you talk about capital and when we start,
that's a lot actually.
oh, it is the starting salary for somebody at $200,000 a year is unheard of without a degree.
Yeah, that's
just
impressive.
to piggyback on what you just said about if someone want to find out about Gauntlet AI, do they go online? How does somebody find
GauntletAI.com, they just started their first week of cohort 2. Cohort 3 is gearing up. So if you would like to join cohort 3, please go to GauntletAI.com and you can sign up for the wait list. But cohort 2 just started. So congratulations to all of y'all there. I'll meet y'all in a few weeks.
Nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. So just to kind of piggyback on the conference, right? Talk about AI, some of those workshops, right? So what can conference goer expect, and what kind of advice would you give somebody coming to their first BlackisTech conference?
First BlackisTech conference network. And I know everybody says that, but let me give you the frameworks of networking. One, find something actually interesting about the person you're talking to. Don't just find the biggest name in the room and then try to hunt them down and be like, hey, look, we're friends. That's not how you network. That's not effective. And you'll waste your time doing that, right? Find somebody who you're interested in. Find something you want to know about. Be very curious. My number one goal for me is always be curious.
Okay.
It's the only thing that keeps me moving. Be curious. 2, get a schedule.
Yeah.
Set yourself schedule. There's going to be so many things going on that you'll want to have a hand in. Prioritize, right? And for those of you coming along, trust me, I've gone to conferences alone. It is not, it is kind of intimidating at first. But I will say the number of valuable friendships that I made at my first BlackisTech,
Yes.
which again was the one that I volunteered for, thought I was going to be taking tickets at the door for.
I feel like
And then one thing that we see when running the event was the number of real people that I met who were just curious and just interested and wanted to talk. Number 2, or I guess it's probably number 3 or number 4 at this point, but set a goal for yourself. Like, what do you want to come out with? Because it is quite possible. If you want to go come out with a job, it's quite possible. You want to come out with a co-founder, quite possible. If you want to come out with a business idea, quite possible, right? There's going to be so many things that have your name on them. You just need to access them.
Okay, nice.
So just one more question, right? So when you mentioned different companies as well, so what kind of industries should we expect that's coming? I know tech, of course, tech company, but we have other industries coming to the
Yeah, so I mean, I think tech encompasses a lot of things, right? And so if you wanted to break down the summits that we're having, there's an AI summit. So if anybody who wants to all things AI, I think everybody should be in that room because it is the next frontier.
It's the next
Facts.
We will have a Web3 summit. So if you're interested in Web3 and blockchain, that is going to be the place for you to be. There will be a career summit. So if you just kind of don't know where you fit in, and for all of those tech adjacent people like myself, that's the room for you. We'll have a founder summit. So for those of you just starting something or have an idea that's like burning in your soul, that's the place to be, especially if you're an investor. Those are the people that in the rooms you want to be in. And then see Web3.
How about cyber?
So cybersecurity does not have its own summit, but
Okay.
there are cybersecurity sessions in almost every summit.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we will be releasing our schedule pretty soon, but you'll see all the different sessions that are happening. So it's very similar to a conference structure where we'll see like what's happening at different times, but each day is based in kind of a theme.
Right. Well, shameless plug. I'm going to be leading one of the workshops on Flutter development. So if anyone out there is interested in learning how to build apps on Flutter, Code Once, Run Everywhere. That is the name of my session. So, hit me up, email. I might be able to get you a ticket. There is a ticket. Right. I might be able to.
Our workshops are the ones that sell out the fastest.
Right.
They get booked the fastest. Workshops are included in a priced ticket.
Okay.
Right. So if you have the free ticket, feel free to like sign up for the wait list for workshops. But you want to guarantee you in the room with this young lady and in the rooms with everyone else,
Right.
and invited to our Blacklist experience, which is a curated Black excellent event that I am super excited about hosting. That's a ticketed event. So
Can we talk more about that, please? Because some people are interested about the vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk a little about that.
So during the week, every evening, there's something going on. Obviously, we have a couple of our partners also hosting events and things like that. So for all of our partnership clients, they may be hosting something that you'll get invited to. So definitely talk to them. But for BlackisTech, specifically what we're hosting, we have a kickoff, which we do every year, which everybody's invited to that one. That's going to, I
Nice.
don't have the location yet. It's close, but it is a mainstay in Houston. Everybody should know that. It's a mainstay in Houston. And then we have our premier experiences, our inaugural, called the Blacklist experience.
Okay.
Thing. So you'll be blacklisted if you decide to come. And it is invite only, and it is all the vibes, right? It's a curated Black excellence experience. So think everybody looking their best, everybody with the right vibe. Last year, we did something similar and it turned out amazing, but we didn't put a name to it. We didn't kind of, we didn't curate it correctly for branding it. And this year, like that was the pinnacle of events. I don't know if you guys were able to
I went to
attend.
one at 13. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the one at 13.
I went to 13.
And so it's going to be very similar to that experience. How was your experience at 13?
It was a vibe. The food, they had platter, food, the drinks were flowing, music was flowing, the vibes, it was definitely a good event. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so the Blacklist series is 13, just elevated.
Okay.
We actually have a concert this year.
Concert?
Yeah, so we're doing it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And that's the thing about working for us in tech. Like I've never hosted a concert before and anything about it. But that's why I was like, hey, we're gonna do this, so study up, right? And I'm like, cool, how do we host a concert? What do we do? And I think that speaks to us as a people, number one, but like what being Black in tech is about.
Right.
It's just accessing and then doing, right? There's a thing that they say in Gauntlet. It's called just submit. And it was really kind of a joke about just turning in your work. Like it may not be great. You may not think it's the best, but just submit it. And I take that to heart when it comes to us, because we will sit on something so long and try to perfect it and perfect it and perfect it. And it's like, no, just submit it.
Submit it.
Just submit it. Like, just go with it. Somebody will find value in it and help you get to the next level. And so I think this is what BlackisTech is instilling in everybody. Let's just go. Let's do it on our own.
Yes. One thing that we like to do on this podcast is kind of ask a specific question. What's one book or podcast that kind of changed the game for you, right? That kind of changed the way you think or the way you approach things?
That is such a good question. I honestly am going to say it's a book by Arlen Hamilton. I can't ever say her last name correctly when I think about it. Arlen Hamilton. And it's called About Damn Time.
Okay.
And it was her first book. I've read both her books. I've actually been able to be mentored by her. But her book changed me in that, like, it is very back to the core of who I am.
Okay.
I live my life on a singular motto. Thank you, Pastor Reverend James Jones, God rest his soul, who instilled this in me. But need plus opportunity equals responsibility. And that's how I live my life. And I think her book illustrated that. There's a need, you have an opportunity. It's now your responsibility to fill this need. In every place that I moved into, there was a need. I decided I was going to fit it regardless of what I was going to get out of it. It became my responsibility, and then everything around it became accessible to me. So all the benefits that I got from it was simply because I put myself in a position to be of service.
Nice.
And I think that book illustrated that very well to where I could put words to it. Because I couldn't put words to what was happening, right? A lot of people say, oh, God is blessing me. And he is, I'm wrong. But to put words to it, I was obedient. This is what happens when you're obedient.
Nice. Nice. Wow, that's amazing. I got to pick up that book. I got to read that book.
I'm going to look it up. Another question I like to ask our guests, we're planning to ask, like, hey, if you go back 10 years, what kind of advice would you give your younger self that's trying to break into tech? What kind of advice would you give yourself?
To break into tech, just do it. Like, find a niche and go for it. I think tech is so open, though the door seems so closed. There are so many ways to get into tech. And again, tech adjacent girly here, starting customer success, starting customer service. Like, you can work your way through those channels. I started in training. I'm good at teaching people how to do things. That's it. That's the only thing. Like, teaching people how to do things. How does that turn into tech? I became the technical lead. I became a program manager. I became a project engineer because I know how to teach people how to do things. Yeah. And most people don't know how to monetize a skill like that.
Right, that's true.
Right? Every parent knows how to teach somebody how to do something.
Yep.
Every single one of them. Use what you have. Don't think you have to go out and take 50 million certifications and all these things. Like, I'm not saying those are wrong. If you found what you want to do, definitely be educated, right? Be on the cusp of what's next in whatever you are interested in doing. But pick something that you're excited about. And this is going to be controversial because this is coding capital, but don't chase the dollar. Let the dollar find you.
That's true.
No, we believe in that as well.
And funny you mentioned teacher, right? Because I have a teacher business, a boot camp. And it's geared towards non-technical people.
Right.
I don't have a technical background.
Right.
I started in finance in college. I wanted to work on Wall Street. That was my dream. I watched Wolf of Wall Street. I watched, just trading. Again, I was interested. I was part of a program my senior year where the school gave us $100,000. I was so interested. Like, I was researching companies, picking something. I think we were up like 10% by the time I graduated, and that fund is still going on in Southern Connecticut University. So at Asher Fund, we were the first cohorts my senior year, right? So, but after college, I graduated during an economic downturn, right? So there was not a lot of jobs in finance.
Right.
There's a mortgage crisis around that time. Mortgage crisis, a lot of banks were shutting down, if you remember, what's saved by the government. Something like, I can't remember exactly what it was, right? But there were no jobs in finance. So I was kind of, what am I going to do? And I didn't go to like the biggest schools. There was no companies coming from that school to recruit. Like, the Yales were there, the Harvard, those people were, those schools get recruited. But for me, I just wanted to do something, right? I wanted to find what's next. So I had a friend that got into tech the non-traditional way, right? He didn't go, he got his MBA, but of course he learned self-taught through boot camps, and he said, hey, Wale, I think this would be good for you. And that phone call changed my life. That one phone call, he said, Wale, I was a business analyst at that time, making like maybe $70K a year, just normal stuff. It's like 10 years ago.
And now he's making $10 billion a year.
Amen. So again, I love the non-traditional. Again, like you mentioned, right? You don't have to be super technical to get into tech. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So in my program, I've helped nurses, teachers, Uber drivers.
Yeah. That people without college degrees,
now
would make this 6 figures. I tell people all the time, I had 0 college degree, sitting as a chief operation and strategy officer of a major company. Like, 0 college degree, sitting as head of operations, sitting as a founder.
It wasn't my field, like, as an engineer. Like, I remember, like, okay, I have a master's degree, and my coworker, they didn't even know, like, we just kind of thing. I'm surprised student loans, like, you out here just like loan signing, making a save, salary.
Everybody. And I think college is great. I tried. It wasn't for me personally, but I tried. But I think everybody, find what makes you happy. If you find what makes you happy, it's available in tech.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Like, again, you may be a nurse. There are technical nurses.
Yes, that's true.
I met somebody last year at BlackisTech who is building software that helps radiologists read x-rays faster and MRIs faster, right? They're using AI to help read them faster because apparently you got to take 1,000 images and then sift through every 1,000 images to figure out what the anomalies are, right? So they're building a system for that. They were a nurse and they were like, hey, this is something I would like to be non-technical, right? Non-technical background, now founding a tech company. So if you find something you're interested in, you can build tech on it, and it will be.
Right.
If you don't do it, somebody else will, because everything is going to be built on tech.
I feel like AI is going to level the playing field for a lot of people. I mean,
already.
I watched something this morning. This guy was talking about he was a mechanic. And then he's using all these AI tools. And now he has a whole business where he's like doing SEO, like building websites. And he has zero background. I mean, he made $44,000 last month.
I will tell you guys.
I said, wait, what?
The company I just founded called Alexine IL, if you would like to go to it. Me and ChatGPT sat down one day because I was bored and I was like, look here, I need something different, right? I want to do something. I want to help other people. Here's the things that I'm good at. And it spit out like 10 ideas. And I was like, cool, I think I like this one. And in a day, my company was born using AI.
Wow.
Right? And not just like, oh, it's a name and it has a thing going on and whatever. Literally, I sat there, conversationally, right? I know how to program LLMs and things like that. But
hey, what's LLMs? Please.
Large language models are an LLM. You can build a subset of one. You can build your own bot on ChatGPT. So one day I said, ChatGPT, teach me how to build you.
Right.
Literally. Literally. And I built a credit repair app for my friends. And I was like, hey, it'll ask you to stick your, it's called Credit Bot. It'll ask you to stick your credit scores in there and upload your credit reports. It tells you how to get them for free. And it'll give you a foolproof plan of how to improve your own credit score.
People pay for that.
Yeah.
People pay for that.
This is built on the back of that. And I built it in 7 minutes on ChatGPT.
I mean, ChatGPT, so I asked it, like, investment strategies, like, give me the stocks to invest in, what the dividends are, give me a chart. It listed like 8 different
seconds.
It was saying, like,
I am telling you,
the risk involved.
There's a graduate of Gauntlet who built that in an AI model. And now it will tell you exactly what you said. Here's the charts, here's the risk, here's what's going to happen if you don't do it now. It has like prediction models attached to it. It learns every day based on your actions and the actions of others. And I'm like, if you're not behind AI right now, if you're not reading on it, if you're not studying, if you're not trying to imbue it in everything you do, you are going to get left behind so quickly. And I feel bad for people who are like, I use it every day. Proofread this for me, just so I can learn how it learns.
Yep.
Right? It's not going to have to do your job. I don't want anybody to be scared, so we'll take everybody's job.
Well, it's taking swing people's jobs. Okay.
It doesn't take jobs. It takes your inability to learn.
True.
It doesn't take jobs. AI cannot take your job. What it is taking is your inability to learn. You're not curious enough to do what it will do. So if your AI model is faster at rewriting these invoices that you need to do for a client, great. Learn how to program the AIs that do that.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
How do I replace myself with this but become the master of that replacement?
Exactly.
So question I have, right, is, I mean, you probably already touched on it. I think I know what you're going to answer. Do you think AI is a trend that people should be focusing on right now? As far as tech trend, is that AI should be a trend people should be focusing on, or is there another trend people should be focusing on?
I wouldn't call it a trend.
I don't even think it's a trend.
I call it the next frontier.
Yeah.
If you're not using, I mean, it's used. You think we recorded a live stream of our demo day for Gauntlet, and I was like, "Now I'm going to pay 5 or 6 camera people to be doing this." And the guy was like, "Don't worry about it." The AV guy, I got cameras that have AI, and it would do the tracking for you. You need 2 of us. I would have had to have a team of 6 to do what this camera system would do, right? And so I think, again, if you're not interested in it, get interested, get curious. But I think security, cybersecurity, is one thing I think people are now overlooking because of AI.
Yep.
But that's an incorrect approach,
Yep.
right? With the more advancement of AI will come advancement of cybersecurity and security
Yeah,
needs.
exactly.
I think Web3 got, like, it was big and all of a sudden it fills it out. I don't believe people should turn their back on blockchain. I don't believe, I think you will see a company come out with AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity built into a platform, and they are going to take over.
Okay.
Because you need all three of those.
New idea. Write that down.
Another thing that you mentioned, right, is in my boot camp, right, I'm thinking about adding some kind of either prompt engineering, some kind of AI. So I have a partner. He has a PhD, I think from University of Houston, and he has in AI. So I'm thinking about bringing it onto my program.
Yes.
And just trying to get people interested. You may not learn to a job, but you can add it to your skill, right?
Yes.
Add it to your
Learn how to, I think the two skills from AI, one knows which models, or three, know which models do what. You need to know the differences in the model. Everybody knows ChatGPT. It's very big, right? Mm-hmm. But there's also Claude, and there's Perplexity, and there's Gemini, and there's Copilot, and there's Grok, and there's like 500 different models. And each of them do things slightly differently. There's some that are very public domain. But if you use something like Perplexity, which is a research model, right? If I want to do a comparison against my competitors, it did a full comparison analysis for me in like 3 minutes. Something that I won't have to pay
That's
ridiculous amount of money to get somebody else to run for me, and in a month of research, it did it in 3 minutes. And full with results. It was like, here's where you're going to stand. Here's where you're going to stand prediction model of the company you're trying to start. Here's how you beat them, right? So learn what models do what. So that you're using the right tool. You never want to pull out a reach when we a hammer, right?
Exactly.
Pull out the right tool.
Right. Awesome. I feel like we know everything we need to know about BlackisTech. So just rounding out, do you have any final remarks about the conference, or what, anything that you want to share with our viewers?
Get your tickets now.
How can you get tickets?
So you will go to BlackisTechConference.com.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Be a nice call to action on the very first screen that says get your tickets, and then pick a ticket level. Again, take the free ticket if you don't know if you can afford you don't know if you're ready to invest in a paid ticket right now. Take the free ticket, get yourself in, right? Get in. If you decide you want to upgrade your ticket. If you find value in what's coming with the paid tickets, upgrade your ticket. The second thing is follow us on all the socials, right? So at BlackisTech Team is our official Instagram. We also have a LinkedIn and an X, aka Twitter, that you can follow us on to see all the things happening. We're about to announce a lot of our speakers, a lot of our events, and then register for the event. So if you have a free ticket, you're not automatically registered for the events. Got to get a head count. So we'll be releasing our registration link this coming week. And you'll go in and just register for the ones that you actually want to participate in. So don't think you have to participate in the whole week. If all you can dedicate is a day, pick your favorite day and dedicate the day. But show up.
So, I know we're kind of coming up on time, right? How can people find out more about you? Either your socials, your LinkedIn, if you want people to find out more, because you have a lot of knowledge.
Lots of knowledge.
You have knowledge. Sure. You have a lot of, hey, I'm going to call you. I mean, if you have time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll call out today.
I want to definitely reach out and learn more about
LinkedIn, obviously. So Rebecca Metters, REBECCA, Metters, METTERS. That's how you find me on LinkedIn. Obviously, BlackisTech. If you see me around, I always try to talk to everybody. I'm not one of those people who like separated from the crowd. I like being involved. So you'll see me all over the place. I normally wear a hat and a blazer and a pair of jeans at these conferences, so you'll probably see me in my uniform.
Okay.
And then if you're interested in anything Gauntlet or Ilexine, which is my new company, which is because chaos is not a business model. Right. So we help all these small business owners automate using AI. Hello at ilexine.io. That's a way to get to me.
Right.
Well, thank you for joining us here at Coding Capital Podcast, and I guess we'll see you next time. We'll see you at the conference.
I'll see you at the conference, because y'all make sure y'all come to this amazing workshop she's hosting.
Yeah.
Be there.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you.
Guys, like, share, and subscribe.
Awesome.